What's up, campers? Here's my review of Total Drama All-Stars Episode 5, Moon Madness. I think this is going to be my quickest review yet, or the quickest review I wrote. I think I did this in 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. Just a quick run through of the episode, and here we are. So I guess I'll just jump right into the summary, but before that, this was a very interesting episode, and I did like it. I thought it was great. And the show is getting better and better. Kind of like Legend of Korra is getting better and better. But I don't know, Legend of Korra gets better and then drops in quality sometimes, so I don't know. But this is definitely picking up from where it started. So, we're at the loser cabin or whatever, the bad cabin with the heroes, and Zoe sees Mike trip Cameron, and she puts two and two together, so, you know, if he tripped Cameron, I didn't even see it because I guess it was like off camera. So, and then they just did like a little flashback. But I think Cameron's like walking down the steps, and then Mike's like under the steps, and he puts his arm out and trips him, and then Cameron falls into his soup. Was it soup or something? It was something nasty, some nasty food that Chef made. And then like he fell into the bowl, and then his glasses broke. Oh, and by the way, this is off the top of my head, Chef. I swear Chef was more relevant in some of the previous seasons. Like, he talked more and everything. And wasn't there, like, a deal between him and one of the contestants? Like, we need more Chef talking. Because it seems like it's just only Chris. And I just remember, like, Chef and Chris being more involved with the show. But whatever. So she puts two and two together. If Mike broke Cameron's glasses, he probably broke Sierra's phone. And he probably broke Sam's game. What do they call it? Game Boy? Game Guy? They had to change it because, you know, legal issues. Nintendo just come in there and sue everyone. And it's pretty weird how Alejandro was whistling through his nose while he was eating. Like, him and Heather were, you know, they had the good breakfast and stuff. They're eating steak for breakfast. I don't even know if I would like steak for breakfast. I mean, I still want those pancakes from last episode. They should have had those pancakes. But he was whistling through his nose while he was eating. Is that dangerous? Is that even possible? That's just so weird. Who does that? And I just agree with Heather on this one. And it seems like Courtney's fallen for Scott, which is strange because in the last episode she seemed like she didn't like him. She seemed like she was kind of disgusted by him. And I'm just saying, quick season, you gotta introduce the relationships right away. And whatever, love works in strange ways. I prefer for her to be all over Duncan, though. I still like that relationship from season 1. I really did like that relationship between them. And this is a very interesting episode. Today's challenge was also really good. It's a race, like a race on part of the island, and then the blue harvest moon is out, so it causes all the animals to act their opposite. That's the way they said it, but basically all the dangerous animals are nice and all the small cute animals or whatever are dangerous, like rabbits or squirrels. Just stay away from the rabbits. You know, they would even kill Lenny, and you get a cookie if you get that reference. Oh, and all the contestants from each team have to make it through the finish line for them to actually win. So when the blue moon occurs, Heather tries to trick her teammates into thinking that the moon has actually changed her into like a nice person. And then there's this whole scene on the bridge where she's about to fall, and then Alejandro catches her, yeah. And what if he didn't catch her? Like, what if he didn't catch her? What would she have done? And then we have Sierra, who's all over Cameron. And then Cameron agrees to help Mike with his personality problem. You know, he helped him out last season because he could bring out all the personalities. And I actually forgot about Mike being hit in the head with a shovel by Sam. Or was it Scott? One of them. And I don't think the personality problem will last this entire season or until the finale. I'm pretty sure it's going to be resolved in the next few episodes. And he'll most likely have control by then. And I'm also expecting Mike to go to the finale. My final two so far are Mike and Gwen. I don't know. Duncan, it's probably going to be some different people because there's always different people. And Gwen she almost made it in season 1. So, who who else could make it there? Alejandro already made it far enough. It's got to be someone different who hasn't actually made it that far. It could be like Zoe or Courtney. Yeah, it could be Courtney and Mike. That might be it. And the moon does have an effect on Mike. It puts his emo, evil personality in control, and then he's like, "Oh, if I act like Mike, maybe they'll trust me," or something. It was something like that. I'll act like Mike so they don't know. And he has that weird, deep voice. It's just awkward. And then Duncan isn't over Courtney, which came out of nowhere. That really came out of nowhere because like in the previous episodes, I always like to notify you guys when I get cut off in the middle of a video. So I got cut off. Someone came home and I couldn't finish the review, but luckily I still have time to finish the review today. So I'm gonna get this done in one day. I left off saying that Duncan isn't over Courtney, which really came out of nowhere. He's been all over Gwen this season, blowing kisses, all this, calling her babe, like, they're still together, and she just seems distant. And then in this episode, Gwen breaks up with him because he suddenly has an interest in Courtney. I don't know where this came from. Like, who wrote this? It doesn't have any continuity with the previous episodes. That's, like, the problem. It just kind of came out of nowhere. It's like, we have a short season, so we can't do all this in a few episodes. We have to do this in one episode. Just saying, it came out of nowhere. And then you have Duncan still talking about Mike's personality. Well, not his personality. He's talking about Mike. He's like, I know you from somewhere, and he's still wondering about that. And I'm just gonna say juvie or something. Maybe they made Mike like some bad guy back in the day or something like that. I guess I don't know. And then the whole scene with the beaver, like, biting Scott. I'm pretty glad that Courtney threw the beaver off the cliff. I was kind of expecting her to do that because she's just, like, so mean. I was expecting her to just throw it off because it's crazy. And she did it. But it had a parachute, which was weird and random. But most of the villains make it to the finish line. Then Gwen, she went the other way. So if you watch the episode, you know what happened. Gwen went the other way. She finally made it around. Her and Courtney are fighting a deer or something. The heroes make it there, and then Mike turns back into himself, and then he's kind of paused for a second, and then Courtney and Gwen just run through the finish line. I was expecting Mike to get voted off this episode, but I'm like, wait, Mike is like one of the central. He's like one of the central points of focus in this season. And I feel like Zoe hasn't really been focused on as much, so that might mean she will get eliminated eventually. And Gwen and Courtney are kind of bonding, kind of not. Courtney's just still on the fence, She just won't let Gwen in. Cameron wants to leave. This is at the end when they're about to eliminate someone. Cameron just automatically volunteers to get eliminated because he can't deal with Sierra because she thinks he's like Cody or something. I don't know, maybe because they're both kind of small. And then Scott wants to go back to Boney Island because he wants to find the invincibility statue thing like he did last year or last season. But one hero, the hero that leaves has to go to the villains team, which I think they've done that before. Like, they eliminate someone and then put them on the other team. So Cameron, he volunteered, so now he's going to be on the villains team. And then all of them are giving him, like, a mean look, except Gwen, who's smiling. And I'm like, well, that's his only friend on the team. So, yeah. Maybe he'll turn evil. I don't know. But this is a great episode of Total Drama All-Stars. About to say Revenge of the Island. Thank you for watching my review, or thank you for listening to my review. And if you would like to see more information about me, you can go to my channel, or you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.